So you want to help everyone, and it feels strange to say that you help people with IBS or diabetes or weight or food freedom because, well, let's face it, you like everything. I get it. I've been there and done that, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to start a dietitian private practice without excluding people. I want to preface this by saying when you're starting, what's most important is to get confident, to get some experience, and to start helping people and getting more picky about who you want to help and how you want to help them. Those are a little bit more of intermediate tactics. Therefore, when you're first starting out, as long as you're not against working with somebody because your philosophy doesn't agree, then I think it's safe to say that you can start helping different types of people at the beginning. Now, when we're talking about marketing, your marketing can also start out broadly. What matters most is that your marketing starts, and then with time, you can get more consistent with your marketing efforts. Now, it's a process. There are some marketing principles that I'm going to go over in today's video that can help you gain more insights as to this topic because it's a really popular question. So the two questions that I get are, people ask me, dietitians say, can I help this person if they're outside of my specialty, right? And that would be, maybe you feel like you're excluding people, and the answer is it's your choice. If you want to help that person and there's nothing holding you back, there's no moral or ethical reasons why you wouldn't serve that person, then the answer would be yes, help that person. Now, on the other end, if you are in a position in your practice where you don't need to, don't want to, you're full, and you can refer them out and they'll get better service from somebody else, that would be a great opportunity for you to not necessarily exclude them, but send somebody who's not a fit for you to somebody that you might know, or start networking with other practitioners so that you know who you could refer somebody to. That really is best practice in dietetics. So the other piece is the marketing. So this is a piece that I get the most pushback on, meaning if you choose IBS, for example, you'll be excluding people who don't have IBS. And the reality is, as practitioners, we can't possibly help everybody. Maybe in a group practice, right? A group dietitian private practice that has multiple different specialties in areas because they've been able to hire people under those areas that can help different topics. But if that's not you, you're not a group practice owner, you're an individual solo practitioner looking to help more people, there's a lot of mindset to work through when it comes to your ability to market for a particular type of person. As long as you're able to refer out to folks that might need help outside of what you do, that is going to be the best practice because you're not able to serve everybody. You can't possibly keep up with all of the research with so many different aspects of nutrition. Nutrition is evolving very fast. There's a lot of different opinions and a lot of different types of practices and a lot of different specialties. So the more that you can think about marketing one, it's going to really help more people know how you can stand out. And again, when you get folks that come to you that don't fit within that realm, you can have a practice set up. You can have a system where you're referring them out. And you can build up the skills to do that and have a little bit of a workflow so that you are not excluding people by sending them out to the proper practitioner who is available for them. I want to talk a little bit about marketing principles because that's important in context of excluding or not excluding people with your nutrition messaging. One of the main marketing principles includes defining your target market. Yet this is such a difficult concept for dietitians and practitioners because, well, let's face it, we want to help everybody, and that's mostly because we're conditioned to do that. And it feels really awkward to be so focused and narrow when as a practitioner you became a dietitian so you could help the public. Right? And focusing on one aspect of the public feels weird and awkward, and I get it. I totally understand that. And I can relate because when I was a clinical dietitian, I had to learn every single disease state in my master's program, and I had to write these robust reports about anything, every topic, right? From cancer to anything gut related to diabetes. I mean, I had to be a master of all these disease states. And to be honest, it stressed me out because I felt like no matter how much I researched and studied, I didn't know everything, right? I was also a little bit of a perfectionist, still am. I'm recovering from that. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to be so knowledgeable. And I ended up going home feeling like inadequate, very inadequate. And then I got a job in peds, working specifically in pediatrics. And even though that's a specialized area, I absolutely love the job. I love the dedication that I was able to have as a dietitian working with that type of population. I worked in peds for 4 years. So I think if you give yourself a chance to focus on one or two, particularly one topic, and think about your target market, you're going to actually help serve more people because you'll have more of a greater impact in the field of dietetics. And if you need some affirmation, go check out our podcast on Dietitian Boss. Me and my team have interviewed over hundreds of our clients that are focused in particular areas of nutrition, and they've been able to see great results, not only in terms of financial return, but also in terms of impact and fulfillment that they've been able to receive by focusing on a particular target market. So what does that mean, right? Target market and marketing and something we didn't learn in school. So thinking about your target market means that you're clearly defining the type of person that you help, and you're clearly defining what problem they have. So if you think about the big problems in nutrition, I'm thinking diabetes, I'm thinking cancer, different disease states. I mean, there's a whole lot of problems. Those two just came to the top of my head right now. And those are some of the things I learned in school, and I worked as a cancer dietitian as well. And so in those topics, if you think about the particular problems that people have within a disease state, you can more clearly define who your target market is, and that's going to help you stand out. Another principle in marketing is meeting the needs of the consumer. And if you were to help everybody in your marketing, you wouldn't be able to do that because you can't possibly help everybody's needs if you're marketing to every single condition or ailment under the sun. Now, if you're starting in marketing and you don't know what to post, posting anything is better than nothing. When I first started, I talked about general nutrition. I think I made some jokes about food and just some silly stuff to try to relate, and talked about what I was doing in research and this and that. And that's okay. Nobody cares what happens when you first start. What matters is that you would start broad, most people do, and then you start to get more narrow as you start to research and get more clear with your messaging. Because in order for you to better support the needs of the consumer, which is good practice in marketing and business, you're going to need to get clear with what it is that they want and need. And that requires market research, engaging with people on social, or at least observing what people are saying in context to, let's say, a particular disease state or issue with nutrition. Could be some other issue outside of diabetes that just always comes to my mind, and start really thinking critically about the problems that people face when it comes to nutrition. Another marketing principle is being true to what you sell. And I know this sounds obvious. You're like, oh, of course I'll be true to what I sell. But we've worked with a lot of clinicians, a lot of dietitians that will choose a path like weight loss because it seems popular, and then they will realize that they align more with weight neutrality or food freedom. And there's no right or wrong answer with what you align with, what your philosophy is as a dietitian. Those are all deeply personal questions that you can explore. But what matters is that you're staying true to yourself. And I think what's more important is that you show up and learn and start imperfectly and allow yourself to evolve than never starting at all. It's okay to have a stance and then change your mind a little bit or a lot. What's most important is that you get to that path of being true to what you're selling, because people, they know when you're true with what you're selling, and they know when you're being authentic. The last marketing principle is to not do it alone. There's so much that has to do with marketing and doing marketing in a way that's effective, that's ethical, and that is sustainable. Because building a business and getting sales or increasing your transactions is one thing, but having repeat business and creating profitability and systems in your business, that's another skill. And so in order to start and grow your private practice, you're going to need a team. You're probably going to need a team of cheerleaders, mentors, peers, right? Peers to refer out to, mentors who can help support you on your path, possibly even team members that you hire as virtual assistants or clinicians to work under you in the future. And so thinking about marketing from a collaborative standpoint is going to help you take off the load of feeling like you're so responsible for everything, which is pretty common among dietitians. And that's why I say it's so important to find a network of people like the dietitian bosses that we support in our community. When they're in our academy membership, they're working alongside with their peers, and that's really powerful. And I definitely invite you to join Academy by pressing the link below so that you can be a part of our community and we can support you in starting and growing your dietitian private practice.